Welcome to this channel, Baruch Haba B'Shem Yahuwah. Today I'm going to do part 3 of the in-depth study series, Authority and Submission. Alright. The scriptures you can read are Genesis 9 verse 20 to 27, Leviticus 10 verse 1 and 2, Numbers chapter 12 verse 1 to 15, and chapter 16. And in this in-depth series we are going to learn what authority and submission exactly means. We start with part 2 of examples of rebellion in the Old Testament. The rebellion of Ham, the failure of the deputy authority being a test to those submitting to authority. In the first garden, Adam fell. In the second garden, Noah also fell. Yahuwah saved Noah's household because of his righteousness. In Yahuwah's plan, Noah was the head of his household. Yahuwah placed Noah's family under his authority. The Most High Yahuwah also set Noah to be the head of the earth at that time. Do we read that in book of scriptures? No. We only can know this by reading far more books, so we get a far more complete picture of the 66 books and everything that is told in there. So please read the apocryphal books too. But one day Noah drank of the wine of the vineyard and became drunk. He became naked in the tent when his son Ham saw his father's nakedness. He went out and told his 2 brothers. As far as his conduct was concerned, Noah was wrong. He should not have been drunk, but Ham did not see the seriousness of authority. The father is the authority set up by the Most High Yahuwah himself in the family. However, the flesh loves to see authority exposed to shame, so that there can be freedom from restriction. When Ham saw the impropriety of his father, there was no sense of shame or sorrow. He also did not think of covering the matter. This proves that he had a spirit of rebellion. So you can say that Noah became with the reason drunk, so that Yahuwah the Most High could see the type of fruit his sons were. Noah's sons were. So the Most High Yahuwah arranged this whole situation so it could test the sons of Ham and see on whom he could build on and whom not. This proves that he had a spirit of rebellion. He went also out to tell his brothers and expose the matter, and thus the shame of his father. This proves that he also had a reviling conduct. But notice how Shem and Japheth dealt with the matter. They went into the tent backward. They did not turn their faces toward their father's shame. Instead, they covered their father with the garment of their shoulders. The failure of Noah became a test to Shem, Ham, Japheth, and Canaan, the son of Ham. It showed who was submissive and who was rebellious. Noah's failure exposed Ham's rebellion, or better said, by Yahuwah arranged so-called failure. When Noah woke up from his drunkenness, he prophesied that the descendant of Ham would be cursed and that he would be a servant of servants to his brothers. So the first slave in the book of scriptures is Ham. The phrase Canaan shall be his servant is used twice. This means that those who do not submit to authority will have to be slaves, being subject to authority. Shem was blessed. Master Yahusha was born of the descendants of Shem. Those of Japheth are the preachers of Mashiach. They are the preachers of Yahuwah's word also. All the nations that preach the word are descendants of Japheth. After the flood, the first person who was cursed was Ham. His descendants were made to be slaves under others' authority for generation after generation. Everyone who learns to serve the Most High must come face to face with authority. He cannot serve the Most High Yahuwah in a spirit of lawlessness. Nadab and Abihu offering strange fire. The reason for devouring. How solemn is the story of Nadab and Abihu? They became priests because they belonged to the house of Aharon. This was due to the proper condition of their house before the Most High Yahuwah. It was not due to the proper condition of the individuals in that house. The Most High Yahuwah appointed Aharon to be priest. The anointing was upon the head of Aharon. Leviticus 8 verse 12. In all things related to offerings and service, the chief person was Aharon. His sons were just helpers, taking orders from him to attend to the affairs beside the altar. The Most High Yahuwah had no intention for Aharon's sons to be priests independently. He only wanted them to be under Aharon's authority. Leviticus 8 refers to Aharon and his sons 12 times. Then chapter 9 indicates that Aharon offered the sacrifices while his sons helped alongside of him. If Aharon did not move, his sons should not move too. Everything should have been under Aharon's name. Nothing should have been under his sons' names. When his sons assumed the headship presumptuously to offer sacrifices, it became strange fire. But the sons of Aharon, Nadab and Abihu, thought that they also could offer sacrifices without Aharon's command. They offered up strange fire. The meaning of strange fire is to serve the Most High Yahuwah while refusing to take orders and disregarding authority. They observed that it was a simple matter for their father to offer sacrifices. Nothing extraordinary seemed to be involved. Therefore, they thought that they could do the same. Hence they took the matter into their own hands. Their only consideration was whether or not the matter could be done. They did not consider the matter of Yahuwah's authority. Service originating from the Most High Yahuwah. Here we see a very solemn matter. Serving the Most High Yahuwah and offering strange fire are two similar matters. Yet they are very different. Service to the Most High Yahuwah originates from the Most High Yahuwah. It is man serving the Most High Yahuwah through submission to His authority. The result is acceptance. Strange fire, however, originates from man. There is no need of obedience to Yahuwah's will or submission to His authority. All that is needed is man's zeal, and the result is death. We often incur more death the more we serve and work. Under such circumstances, we have to ask the Most High Yahuwah to enlighten us. Are we under the principle of service, or are we under the principle of strange fire? Are we under the principle of the flesh? So we always have to ask ourselves, in the things we do, are we doing it in service, in true service, to the Most High Yahuwah? And so, are we doing it throughout and through and from His authority? Or are we just doing it because our flesh told us to do so? Yahuwah's work being a coordination in authority. When Nadab and Abihu worked apart from Aharon, they were working apart from the Most High Yahuwah, because Yahuwah's work is a coordination in authority. Yahuwah ordained that they serve under Aharon's authority. In the New Testament there are Barnabas and Paul, Paul and Timothy, and Peter and Mark. Well, in the Old Testament it starts already with Adam and Eve, because Eve was submission to the authority of Adam, and also to the authority of Yahuwah the Most High. In all these, we see a responsible one who leads on the one hand and a helper who follows on the other hand. In Yahuwah's work, some are said to be authorities, while others are said to submit to authorities. Yahuwah desires that we be priests according to the order of Melchizedek. In the same way, we have to serve the Most High Yahuwah in the order of the coordination in authority. Wow. I think this is so learning, because we truly lack such a basic understanding of what authority and submission is, and there is too less teaching about this. When a person who should not take the lead begins to take the lead, there is rebellion and death. And then the whole thing collapses. Therefore, anyone who serves the Most High Yahuwah without touching authority is offering strange fire. If someone says, since so and so can do it, I can do the same. This is rebellion. And it's also counting for those who do not see, if they try to set up a ministry, for example, and do not see that one needs to be the leading person. And if the other person doesn't want to submit itself to that one that is appointed by Yahuwah the Most High as the leading head, as the one who leads it and who makes sure that the things are going in alignment and are being done at moments when they need to be done, and the other person is constantly saying, we need to do this or we need to do that, and actually is ignoring the position of authority, the first person, the one that is chosen by Yahuwah to be in authority, to be the leading head, and the other person is ignoring that and doesn't want to submit itself to it, then a ministry collapses, because it can't work in that matter. And if the person can't deal with the fact that one needs to take the lead and says, yeah, well, but if Yahuwah didn't say us to do this or that, we shouldn't do, and then still enforcing its will on what the ministry needs to do, that doesn't work. And then the Most High Yahuwah says, you are not submissive to my authority and to the authority that I have placed on this person. And what you then get is that the other person is calling the person that is being appointed as the one to bring everything in a streamline and bring everything into one line, that person is being known as dominant or wanting to push its will on it, arrogant or whatever. No, that is an excuse to not see that you, as the person who didn't want to be submissive to the authority of the other person, is saying, because you do not want to acknowledge your own fault. The strange fire that you created in the ministry. In the same way, we have to serve the Most High Yahuwah in the order of the coordination in authority. When a person who should not take the lead begins to take the lead, there is rebellion and death. Anyone who serves the Most High without touching authority is offering strange fire. If someone says, since so and so can do it, I can do the same, this is rebellion. And I deliberately repeat the whole thing again, because this is very important to get. The Most High Yahuwah pays attention not only to whether or not there is fire, but also to the nature of the fire. Rebellion can change the nature of fire. all that is not instructed by Aharon, that is not instructed by Yahuwah the Most High, is strange fire. Concern is with the upholding of authority, not just the sacrifice. For this reason, man should be a follower. He should always be a complementing one. A deputy authority follows the Most High Yahuwah. Those who submit to authority follow the deputy authorities. In spiritual matters or spiritual works, it is not an individual serving, but a corporate body coordinating in serving. So if you start up a ministry, you do that not for your own gain. Well, most people do, but there are people who do not do so. You start this up as a body, because that's what the ministry is. It's a body. The unit of service is coordination, not individuals. When Nadab and Abihu got into trouble with Aharon, they got into trouble with the Most High Yahuwah. They could not work apart from Aharon. Anyone who violates authority will be devoured by the fire of the Most High Yahuwah. Even Aharon himself did not know that the matter was so serious. But Moshe knew the solemnness of rebelling against the authority of the Most High Yahuwah. There are many who think that they are serving the Most High Yahuwah, yet they work independently without coming under any authority. Many have sinned without realizing that they are rebelling against the Most High's authority. For this reason, the freelance evangelists who were prevalent in China in the past were a great loss to the assembly. The reviling of Aharon and Miriam. Incurring Yahuwah's anger by reviling the deputy authority. Aharon and Miriam were the older brother and sister of Moshe. In the family of Moshe was under the authority of Aharon and Miriam. Better said, I say it completely wrong here, sorry. In the family, Moshe was under the authority of Aharon and Miriam. That's the correct sentence. But in Yahuwah's calling and work, Aharon and Miriam were under Moshe's authority. They were not happy about Moshe marrying an Ethiopian woman, and they spoke against and reviled Moshe, saying, "Has Yahuwah indeed spoken only through Moshe? Has he not spoken through us also?" Numbers chapter 12 verse 2. Ethiopians are Africans. They are the descendants of Ham. It was not right for Moshe to marry an Ethiopian. Miriam was older than Moshe. It was all right for her to rebuke her brother on the ground of family relationship. But in opening her mouth, she touched the work of the Most High Yahuwah and overstepped Moshe's position. In his work, the Most High Yahuwah had placed deputy authority in the hand of Moshe. It was a big mistake for Miriam and Aharon to speak against Moshe because of family problems. So this means that even if you have family problems, you are not allowed to overstep the authority that was placed on the person in the household that Yahuwah had chosen to be the deputy authority. So the Most High Yahuwah appointed Moshe to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, but Miriam despised Moshe. For this reason, the Most High Yahuwah was not happy with her. It is all right for you to deal with your brother, but it is not at all right for you to speak against the Most High Yahuwah's authority. Neither Aharon nor Miriam knew the Most High Yahuwah's authority. They fostered a rebellious heart by standing on natural ground. Moshe did not answer. He knew that if he was Yahuwah's appointed authority, there was no need for anyone to protect him. However, spoke against him would touch death. He did not need to open his mouth, as long as the Most High Yahuwah had given him authority. He did not have to speak. A lion does not need protection because it is the authority. Moshe first submitted to Yahuwah's authority. Then he was able to respect the Most High as authority. He was very meek, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. The authority which Moshe represented was the authority of the Most High Yahuwah. All authorities are delegated by the Most High Yahuwah, and no one can take them away. I need to reset. Their words of rebellion ascended upward and were heard by the Most High Yahuwah. When Aharon and Miriam offended Moshe, they offended at the same time Yahuwah and Moshe. Therefore, the Most High Yahuwah became angry. Once a man touches deputy authority, he touches the Most High Yahuwah in that person. Once he offends the delegated authority, he offends the Most High Yahuwah. Authority being Yahuwah's selection rather than man's attainment. The Most High Yahuwah called all three to come out to the entrance of the tent of meeting. Aharon and Miriam came out boldly, presuming that they would be vindicated. They thought that the Most High Yahuwah had finally called them. They thought, "You, Moshe, have married an Ethiopian woman and have caused unhappiness in the family. We have many things to say to the Most High Yahuwah." But Yahuwah said, "Moshe is my servant. He is faithful in all my house. In all my house. In the house of the Most High Yahuwah. Why are you so bold as to speak against my servant?" Spiritual authority does not come through man's attainment. Rather, it comes through the Most High, Yahuwah's selection. Spiritual matters are entirely different from the worldly principles. Authority is Yahuwah himself. It cannot be offended, however, speaks against Moshe, speaks against Yahuwah's selection. We cannot despise Yahuwah's selection. The manifestation of rebellion being leprosy. When the anger of the Most High, Yahuwah, was kindled, the cloud removed from over the tent, and the presence of the Most High, Yahuwah, was gone. Immediately Miriam became leprous. This was not from infection, it was inflicted by the Most High, Yahuwah. Being leprous is not any better than marrying an Ethiopian woman. As soon as inward rebellion is manifested, it becomes leprosy. Lepers have to be shut out. Man cannot approach them. They lose all fellowship. When Aharon saw that Miriam became leprous, he besought Moshe to be a mediator so that the Most High Yahuwah would heal her. The Most High Yahuwah instructed Miriam to be shut out from the camp 7 days before she should be received again. She bore shame for 7 days as if her father had spit in her face. Only after 7 days did the tent of meeting journey on. Whenever there is rebellion and reviling among us, Yahuwah's presence is gone. Wow. And the tent will not move. The pillar of cloud will not come until reviling words have been judged. If the matter of authority is not settled, all other matters will remain unsettled. Submitting to Yahuwah's direct authority and also submitting to his deputy authority. Many think that they have submitted themselves to the Most High Yahuwah already. They do not know that they still need to submit to Yahuwah's deputy authority. Those who are truly submissive see Yahuwah's authority in all environments, in their homes and in all institutions. The Most High Yahuwah said, "Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant, against Moshe?" Every time reviling words come, we have to pay much attention to them. We cannot be careless, thinking that we can say things rashly. When there is reviling, it proves that there is the spirit of rebellion within. The reviling is the sprouting of this rebellion. We have to fear the Most High Yahuwah and must not speak in a rash way. Many today speak against those ahead of them. They speak against the responsible brothers in the assembly, but they do not realize the seriousness of this matter. If one day the assembly receives grace from the Most High Yahuwah, she will separate herself from those who revile the servant of the Most High Yahuwah. She will not talk to them because they are leprous. May the Most High Yahuwah be merciful to us that we would see that this is not a matter with our brother, but a matter of Yahuwah's appointed authority. If we have met authority, we will realize that there are too many incidents where we sin against the Most High Yahuwah. Thereafter, our concept concerning sin will be changed. We will see sin from Yahuwah's point of view. The sin that Yahuwah condemns is man's rebellion. The rebellion of Korah's company and of Dathan and Abiram. A corporate rebellion. Number 16 speaks of the company of Korah, who were Levites, and Dathan and Abiram, who were the tribes of Reuben. The Levites represented the tribe of spirituality. Dathan and Abiram represented the leaders. In addition, there were 250 well-known men. All of these princes gathered together to rebel. 250 men. Wow. They were conspiring a plan to rebel. They attacked Moshe and Aharon, saying, "You have gone too far, for all the assembly is holy. Why then do you exalt yourselves above the congregation of Yahuwah?" They did not respect Moshe and Aharon. Perhaps they spoke these words in all honesty. They did not see the authority of Yahuwah. They thought that this was a personal matter. They considered that among Yahuwah's people there was no authority. When they rebuked Moshe, they mentioned nothing about Moshe or Moshe's relationship with the Most High Yahuwah or Yahuwah's command in this matter. When Moshe heard these serious charges, he was neither angry nor upset. Instead, he fell before Yahuwah. He did not act in any way by himself. He did not try to exercise authority, because authority is of the Most High Yahuwah. He told the company of Korah to wait until the morning. In the morning, Yahuwah would prove who was his and who was holy. He was answering an improper spirit with a proper spirit. The words of Korah's company were based completely on reasoning, on the mind, because it's the mind that is doing reasoning. Their words were entirely suppositions, but Moshe said that the Most High Yahuwah would make everything clear. It was all a matter of Yahuwah's selections and command. It was not Moshe's problem, but Yahuwah's problem. They thought that they were only against Moshe and Aharon, that they were not against the Most High Yahuwah. They had no intention of rebelling against the Most High Yahuwah. They intended, to continue to serve the Most High Yahuwah. They were only despising Moshe and Aharon. But the Most High Yahuwah cannot be separated from his deputy authority. They are one. One cannot take one attitude towards the Most High Yahuwah and a different attitude towards Moshe and Aharon. No one can reject the Most High Yahuwah's deputy authority on the one hand, while receiving the Most High Yahuwah on the other hand. If they had submitted to the authority of Moshe and Aharon, they would have been submitting to the Most High Yahuwah. But Moshe did not lift himself up because of the Most High Yahuwah's authority on him. He humbled himself under the authority of the Most High Yahuwah. In a gentle way, he said to them, "Take censers and put fire in them, and place incense upon them before the Most High Yahuwah. Tomorrow, and the man whom Yahuwah chooses, he shall be holy." Moshe was an aged man. He knew the consequences of such an act, and he sighed, saying, "You have gone too far, sons of Levi. Is it too small a thing for you that the Most High Yahuwah of Yisrael has separated you from the assembly of Yisrael to bring you near to himself?" They didn't saw that their separation was done so that they would be brought nearer to the Most High Yahuwah himself. He was drawing them more closely to himself. But they didn't saw. Therefore, you and all your company have gathered together against the Most High Yahuwah. At that time, Dathan and Abiram were not present. Later, Moshe sent men to ask them to come, but they refused, saying, "You have not brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up." Their attitude was that of rebellion. Basically, they did not believe in the promise of the Most High Yahuwah. Their attention was on the earthly blessing. They forgot their own mistake. They were the ones who had refused to enter Canaan. But they turned around to rebel against Moshe with bitter words. Yahuwah the Most High must remove rebellion from among his people. Then Moshe became angry. He did not answer them, but prayed to the Most High Yahuwah instead. Many times, man's rebellious forces Yahuwah the Most High to step forth in judgment. The Israelites tempted the Most High Yahuwah 10 times and doubted him 5 times. But the Most High Yahuwah tolerated and forgave all of them. Wow! Hallelujah! Yet when rebellion broke out this time, the Most High Yahuwah stepped forth to judge. He said, "Separate yourselves from among this assembly, that I may consume them in one moment." The Most High Yahuwah must remove rebellion from among his people. Moshe and Aharon fell down before the Most High Yahuwah and prayed, "Shall one man sin, and will you be angry with all the assembly?" The Most High Yahuwah answered Moshe and Aharon's prayer and judged only the company of Korah. Not only did the Israelites have to hearken to the Most High Yahuwah's appointed authority, but the Most High Yahuwah himself also testified before the Israelites that he accepted their word. Rebellion is a principle from Hades or Hades. When they rebelled, the gates of Hades were opened. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed Korah, Datan, Abiram, their households, and all their goods. They fell into Hades alive. The gates of Hades cannot prevail against the assembly, but a spirit of rebellion can open the gates. The assembly is not victorious because there are rebellious ones with her. When there is no rebellion, the earth cannot open its mouth. All kinds of sins release death. Only submission to authority will shut the gates of Hades and release life. Submissive ones acting not by doctrine but by faith. When the rebellious ones spoke against Moshe for not leading them into the land flowing with milk and honey, and for not giving them the inheritance of fields and vineyards, their words were somewhat true. They were then in the wilderness and were indeed not yet in the land flowing with milk and honey. Please note that whenever men act and judge according to doctrine or according to what they see with their physical eyes, they are taking the way of reason. But those who submit to authority will enter Canaan by faith. The way of the Spirit can never be taken by those who argue and reason. Those who by faith take the leading of the pillars of cloud and of fire, and take the leading of Moshe. The deputy authority will enjoy the fullness of the Spirit. The earth opens its mouth for the rebellious ones. This is the way of death, leading them quickly to Hades. Those who do not submit to authority have clear eyes, but they only see the desolation in the wilderness. Only those who are apparently blind, who probe forward by faith, ignoring the present desolation, can enter into Canaan. So ignoring the present desolation can enter into Canaan. Those on the spiritual pathway see the future promise of blessing by the eyes of faith. Therefore, one must meet authority, be restricted by the Most High Yahuwah Elohim, and be led by his deputy authority. If a man sees only his father, brothers, or sisters, he does not know what authority is and has not yet met the Most High Yahuwah. In any case, the matter of authority is an inward revelation rather than an outward teaching. Ooh. The contagion of rebellion. In Numbers chapter 16, there are two rebellions. In verses 1 through 40, we have the rebellion of the leaders, whereas in verses 4 through 50, we have the rebellion of the whole assembly. A spirit of rebellion is contagious. The judgment on the 250 was not enough to warn the whole assembly. Let this sink in. 250 people, you know, that was taken by the mouth of the earth on command of the Most High Yahuwah, and still they didn't fear. The rest of the assembly didn't fear. They saw with their own eyes fire coming forth from the Most High Yahuwah to consume the 250 incense burners. Yet they still rebelled. They even accused Moshe of killing them. Moshe and Aharon could not open the earth. It was the Most High Yahuwah who opened it, who opened the earth. So Moshe could not consume people with fire. It was the fire that proceeded from the Most High Yahuwah that judged the people. Some men only see through their own eyes. They do not see that all authority is of the Most High Yahuwah. Such people are very bold. They are not afraid even when they see judgment, because they do not have the knowledge of authority. This is a very dangerous matter when the whole assembly attacked Moshe and Aharon. The glory of the Most High Yahuwah appeared, proving that authority is from the Most High Yahuwah. Wow! Do we truly realize all this? To be very honest, I didn't hear this earlier in my life. People speaking about authority, true authority, and what authority is and submission means. So I'm very thankful that we are now about to learn all this. And it doesn't matter if it is being taught in the last days, better now than never. Wow. So the Most High Yahuwah came forth to judge. A plague broke out, and 14,700 people died. Well, better said, 950, because the 250 that were already absorbed by the earth on command of the Most High Yahuwah needs to be counted in this too. So 14,950 people in total. Wow! Moshe was quick in his spiritual sensation. He immediately ordered Aharon to take the censer, put fire in it, and place incense on it to make propitiation for the assembly. Aharon stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stopped. The Most High Yahuwah can bear his people's 10 murmurings in the wilderness, but he cannot bear His authority being offended. The Most High, Yahuwah, can bear many sins and can even pardon them. Once rebellion appears, however, the Most High, Yahuwah, cannot tolerate it. For rebellion is according to the principle of death. It is according to the principle of Shaitan, or the father of lies. For this reason, the sin of rebellion is more serious than any other kind of sin. Whenever someone opposes authority, the Most High Yahuwah immediately comes in to judge. How solemn a matter this is. Wow. What a learning. What a teaching here. I'll take that word out of my mouth. Sorry, Yahuwah. I have dissolved that word directly. What a teaching, what a teaching. Wow. All right. With this, I have come to the end of this part of authority and submission, which is part 4, I think. And wow, let the words sink in and re-listen this teaching, because there's a lot in it, and we have still some parts to go. So, all right, I wish you all a Baruch day, and do not forget to praise Yahuwah the Most High in all the things you do. Baruch haba b'shem Yahuwah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Baruch Yahuwah, Baruch Yahuwah, Baruch Yahuwah. I see you next time.